Harper Business and Harper Audio present Get Better at Anything, 12 Maxims for Mastery by Scott H. Young. This is the author. A note before we begin, don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. It contains illustrated figures from the book, a bibliography, and more, and will be referred to throughout as the enhancement. To Thomas and Julia. Introduction. How learning works. Life depends on learning. We spend decades in school acquiring an education. We want to be good at our jobs, not just for the perks that come from being one of the best, but for the pride that comes from mastering a craft. Even the things we do for fun, we enjoy to a large extent because we feel we're capable of getting better at them. Yet, learning is often mysterious. Sometimes it comes effortlessly, as when we quickly find our way around a new neighborhood or pick up the routine at a new job. In other cases, it's a slog. We may spend hours in the library with little to show for it on the final exam. We may want to switch companies, industries, or even professions, but not feel qualified to make the leap. We can spend decades driving a car, typing on a computer, or hitting a tennis serve without reliably getting better at any of them. Improvement is inconsistent, if it comes at all. Whether your aim is eventual mastery or just to get a little bit better, it helps to understand how learning works. Simple principles can explain why progress comes easily in some situations and can be frustratingly absent in others. To begin, let's look at an unlikely story of world-class skill development, how Tetris players suddenly became much better at the game 3 decades after it first became popular. The Tetris Enigma. As he does most days, Joseph Saley fired up a game of Tetris on February 15th, 2020. Immediately, the iconic 4 square multicolored bricks began falling at a rate of roughly 1 every second. Despite a pace that would make most arcade buffs sweat, Saley is barely paying attention. Instead, he's chatting with the handful of followers who have come to watch him play live on the online streaming platform Twitch. The conversation slows as he reaches level 19. Saley must now find and maneuver each brick into the best possible spot in the 2/3 of a second it takes for them to reach the bottom. Before it lands, he is already glancing at the display indicating the next piece, the only reprieve from the otherwise completely unpredictable sequence of shapes. After 9 levels at this blistering pace, the speed doubles once more. The bricks barely blink into existence before they are already at the bottom of the screen. As he completes this stage, the level counter glitches, changing from displaying 29 to 00, a clear sign that the game designers thought nobody would make it this far. Seemingly in a trance, Saley jiggles his fingers to tap the buttons on his controller more than 10 times per second. He is able to perfectly place each brick, clearing space fast enough to prevent new ones from overwhelming the screen. After a few minutes, he makes his first mistake. A single misplaced brick stands tall above the otherwise neatly arranged rows. In the blink of an eye, it is all over. A deluge of squares filling the screen. Despite this, Saley is smiling. Defeat may have been inevitable, but Saley had managed to reach level 34, a feat that had never been accomplished in the 30-year history of one of the most popular video games of all time. Saley was just 18 years old. Joseph Saley is obviously skilled at Tetris, but what is more remarkable is how much better he is than the first generation of players who were obsessed with the game. Playing on level 29 was long thought impossible. Bricks dropped so fast that simply holding left or right, a player couldn't move them all the way to the edge of the screen before they became locked in place at the bottom. Since a complete horizontal row of blocks is needed for them to disappear in this satisfying Tetris click, fans regarded the level unplayable, nicknaming it the kill screen. Another feat, achieving a maximum score of 999,999 points in a single session, was long sought by early players. But the first documented max out didn't occur until 2 decades after the game's release, when Harry Hong reached the top score. In contrast, over the span of a single tournament in 2020, Saley maxed out 12 separate times. Nor is
Sample complete. Ready to continue?